maybe in football they would refer to this as garbage time
Yep.
this week and next week because if anybody's announcing anything on December 18th, it's because they missed all their deadlines. And here we are.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I suppose there's still some time technically, but yeah, you kind of mailed it in if you're
Yeah, I mean, if
if you're
you're
rushing it. Like, what's left at Target? I'll
right,
take one of those. Yeah.
I mean, there's just it's the end of the year. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What do you think? 3, 5 insider bills this week. Maybe some
I thought
new
they said they're
Xbox
done.
games. I know that I'm joking. That's what I mean.
Oh.
Like they're gone. It's the what is it? The 18th. Yeah, that place. You can hear crickets at the Microsoft campus now.
I mean, which kind of makes sense. I mean, that's kind of what.
Does our world not exist in a kind of 24/7, 365 state?
I mean, it does. That is a fair representation. But if you're trying to get like marketing and sales and
Yeah, people aren't really paying attention.
yeah,
But then again, not a bad time to reach out. There's not a lot else going on, you know?
that is the other side of the coin. Like CES right around the corner.
Which also doesn't make any sense.
No, it really does. It like poorly. Yeah, CES is CES. That's
You know, it's just,
when E3 died. I'm like, maybe CES is next. No, I'm just.
well,
I mean,
I don't see how many people actually go to this thing. Is it still 100,000 people, or is it?
I'm sure they'll
I don't
come
know.
up with some crazy number because they'll do online viewing and add those numbers in or something. But yeah, I mean, it's the novelty has come and
The
gone.
thought of walking 20 miles through a convention center in Las Vegas and then having to deal with the crowds, the traffic, the cab costs, the hotel costs, the food costs is just so unappealing. You know?
It, yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I was asked him multiple times. In fact, there were assumptions like, oh, you're going to CS, right? And it's like, no, stop.
No,
No,
I mean,
thanks.
it's
I'm good.
like, what are they going to announce that's really worthwhile anymore? Because if you think about it, the companies that we care about,
Yeah.
are obviously Microsoft.
Mhm.
You could throw Intel in there. You could throw HP in there, maybe Lenovo.
Well, I was going to say PC makers. I mean, in the PC
NVIDIA.
space, here's the problem. In personal technology, the big platforms are smartphones, which have almost nothing to do with CES.
Mhm.
Tablets to some lesser degree. PCs, there will be PCs announced, right? I mean, HP didn't announce anything when Intel did their thing, their Media Lake stuff last week. So there will be HP stuff for sure. I'm sure there'll be more Lenovo, more everyone else, whatever. So that's of some interest, but I'm not sure it's travel to Vegas levels of interest.
Yeah. Microsoft's
I,
obviously not. I mean, Microsoft's there, but they're not there like they used to be.
I haven't heard anything from them.
No, they always
About,
have like that corner booth.
no, I know the little side. Yeah, no, I know at the bottom of the stairs, like
Yeah.
the people who live under the stairs. Oh, it's Microsoft.
Yeah, they have that whatever area. I can't even remember
Yep.
what it's called, but
I feel like it's not, but for some reason in my brain, it's like over by the Aladdin or something. But no, it's got to be. I don't know where it is. Who cares? Anyway, the point is, I'm not going. So it just doesn't matter. I will say, I mean, the Qualcomm stuff was actually ready. I mean, and there was no other
but
way to
even
see
then,
it.
Qualcomm
Maybe.
wouldn't be
I
there.
know.
Qualcomm does
No,
their
I
own
know,
thing.
but just I know. I'm trying to think of some reason why I would. I don't know. I can't think of any.
Yeah, I don't think CES is going away, but I think its heyday has come and gone.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Right? I mean, just
It's an outlier, honestly. I mean, all the other big shows, it's Convex long gone, E3 obviously
Yeah, it kinda
gone,
is. You're right.
CeBIT long gone.
is Mobile World Congress still a thing? I know
Yeah,
they've
it
been.
is, and it's happening February next. Yeah, this coming year in Barcelona, just like always. Like the world hasn't completely changed because of the market you cover. But yeah, they are. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
the Giants are slowly. It's kind of like the Appalachian Mountains used to be bigger than the Rockies, but then they've eroded.
Wow. Okay, is that true? I mean, I
Yeah,
said
yeah, I'm
probably,
pretty sure it is. They used to be huge, but because
right.
the whatever yeah,
Okay. I'm sure that at one time they were probably on the bottom of the ocean too. I don't know.
more than likely. I mean, but The world's an old place.
That's a really good comparison. It's funny.
That's what I'm here for, or something. I don't know. It's
Monday, dude. What are you gonna do?
speaking of garbage time. I mean,
Hey, yeah,
like,
exactly. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. This game was over 3 minutes into it. They kept going.
the Bengals.
We already know we're not making the playoffs, and yet here we are.
The Bengals are still in it.
Yeah.
Jake Browning is
So undeserving. So undeserving.
Jake Browning is kicking some butt. Unfortunately for him,
Right.
he is still on a backup quarterback contract next year, which means he's going to get paid garbage time unless we
But
trade
it
him.
also means the following year he's going to be looking good.
Oh yeah. Well,
You know?
he's looking amazing.
No, I mean from a contract perspective.
Oh yeah.
From wherever he
Yeah.
goes. Like
I mean,
he's
this
gonna be
is
set
the
for life.
break that he needed, and so not
Yeah,
that anybody
getting
cares.
any kind of visibility is really hard. Thank God that guy went down. I mean, what's his face?
I know. Well, everybody in Cincinnati is like, why did we just pay Joe Burrow $250?
I was going to say in 2000, I guess it was 2000, Drew Bledsoe went down with a really brutal hit to his rib cage. I think it like literally moved his organs around. And then this guy no one had ever heard of came in as a quarterback, and they did pretty good for the next 15 years. So, sometimes those things happen.
Yeah, the greatest thing that will ever happen in Jake Browning's career, unless he goes on somehow and wins the Super Bowl. But aside from that, is so the Bengals played the Minnesota Vikings this weekend, and they beat the Minnesota Vikings. He beat them, whatever the team beat them, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
He looked right into the camera and said, "You should have never effing cut me."
Yikes.
Because they did. They cut him.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah, like you could tell.
Well,
and like he was angry, and you could. So here's the best part. So if you can go find that clip, like you can tell like the testosterone is pumping. He just went down the field, had a game-winning drive,
right.
Screams this into the camera, and then he tweets out or on Instagram or whatever he got randomly assigned for a drug test.
Randomly assigned.
Because he definitely had a couple veins popping out of his head, and everyone's like, "Eh." So he got randomly picked by the NFL for.
I love it.
Whatever. Whatever. So you played with Tiny 11, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out whether this thing has a place. I mean, I think we all sort of understand the point of it, but I don't have any desire to run Windows 11 on 20-year-old hardware or anything. So there are other ways to bypass hardware limitations, et cetera, or hardware requirements, I should say. But yeah, I mean, it is, they cut it down pretty small. It's, both on disk and when you install it and then on disk after it's installed, it is significantly smaller. There's a couple of challenges. One thing I ran into after I wrote the article was that Microsoft Edge is not installed by default, so you can install it with winget. And if you want like Copilot, you have to have Edge because Copilot, obviously, the UI is an instance of Edge. But I have an app called that I use that I love called Image. What's it called? Jesus, Paul. Image Glass, and it's really it's this beautiful lightweight image viewing program. I don't know what the hell just happened to it, but they just upgraded it or whatever. And the free version on the web, the UI is like terrible now. So I actually paid for it to get it from the store, but now there's all this extra configuration I have to do to get it to work properly. But one of the weird things, I've never seen this before, but if you download it from the store, you actually try to run it, you have to download the .NET 8 runtime. And this is not on Tiny 11. This is everywhere. And I haven't seen like a .NET runtime install in, I don't know, years. I mean, I used to use a thing called, it was not .NET. No, it doesn't matter. It's been years and years. So I did that, and then it still wouldn't run. The thing would come up. It would give you one page of the wizard and it would crash. And what the error message, which was beautiful and super user-friendly, said something about Microsoft Edge WebView. And I was like, oh, see, this is one of those things. Like, you think you want to get rid of Edge, but actually there are apps that rely on some of the technologies that ship with it. And for whatever it's worth, WebView 2, which is the version of WebView that is part of the Chromium Edge now, actually you can download that runtime. So you don't actually need Edge. You can just download WebView 2. So I did that, and now it works. But, it's these kind of like extra steps. Like to get OneDrive to work, you have to make a change to the registry. And it's like, after a while, you run into enough of these things where you're like, well, maybe, I don't know.
It's almost like they exist to.
Well, you have a Windows 8 tablet. It's got, I don't know, 4 gigs of RAM and
Sure.
32 gigs of MMC storage, and for some reason you want to run Windows 11 on, I do understand that computers last longer, et cetera, and then these kind of software expirations are fairly arbitrary. Microsoft is certainly not optimizing Windows 11 for that kind of a system, right? So it has that place. Is it of interest to people like us who don't like all the enshittification stuff happening in Windows and are looking for something like they're going to do in the EU? You know, I mean, maybe, you know, our readers and listeners or whatever tend to be more technical. I think they can handle this stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's not for me, but I get it. I see your point.
It works well enough. I mean, I just installed a work or school account on it, you know, like an Enter ID account, like everything. It's fine. Like it all works. I mean, I don't know. It's free.